Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sandeep Das and you're watching Learn Tech with Sandeep. And today we have very special guest Guru, and he have more than 25 years experience. He is cloud solution architect, he is DevOps, SRE, kind of a very senior person, and he have expertise of you can call it he's a subject matter expert here. Okay, now enough from my side. Let me invite him so that you can hear from him itself. So welcome Guru. So, Guru, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm always good. So, people are always asking me like, let's hear from the senior guys. I mean, we can always. See, the problem is that junior people just learning, right? But the senior people who already seen the industry from very long time, they have very good experience of cloud, DevOps, programming. I think you have gone through a very wild journey. Okay, and I think our audience will be more than more than much interested to learn about how you started, how you when you moved to London, how you have. I mean, what is the full journey? I mean, they would love to know. Please just like, let our audience know about your journey a bit.
Okay, by the way, it's an honor to be with you. You are not less experienced either. Uh, I'm a follower of yours. Of course, we are a community who love to give back. Coming back to your question, I was always a rebel at home, right? I was not a normal, you know, listen to your mom and dad. No, not that kind of a kid. And when the challenge came after my 12th, where I did not have good marks, my dad told me to do some BCom or something like that. I said, no. I said I want to do computer science. And he said, okay, let me introduce you to a colleague's daughter, Prabha Satiraju, who I call Chiduku,
Okay.
because she gets really angry if I don't do proper coding. So we don't call her Prabha, we call her Chiduku. In Hindi, it means getting irritated very soon, right? So she told Guru, you are not good enough. I said, if you teach me computer science, can take off the rest, but I want to be very good. And friendship started on the 10th of April, 1994. I can give you the date. 10th of April,
So,
1994, my friendship started with Chirku.
mhm.
And it has not gone yet. I met her, means we keep in touch. So she taught me one good thing: don't do half-arsed work.
Mm.
Don't do that. Quantity does not matter, quality matters. She told me one good example: a carat of diamond is more expensive than a kilo of cow dung.
Yes.
Yeah,
True.
so you see that, and cow dung doesn't go on a crown. A diamond does, right? Even though it's very small. So be good at quality and be curious. Now, if you keep a diamond and pack it inside a cupboard, it never shines. You have to put sunlight on it. It's a similar way. You need to observe more, only then you will shine. And be curious. IT is the only industry, or actually any industry, which is in constant change, apart from cars.
Right.
That is, cars also are changing. But
True.
most of the other things are not changing much to the speed. So my view always has been: be curious, be rebel, be passionate. Don't do
Mm.
half-hearted work. That never gives you succeed. I follow Rancho a lot.
Okay.
Rancho das,
Yes.
Chanchar. He says,
Good.
काबिल बनो, कामयाबी तुम्हारे पीछे दौड़ेगी.
Exactly. That should
Yeah,
be.
exactly. That's what it
That's how you started. So
is. Yeah, that's how it is.
after that, so it's a bit what you did, what education you did.
I did my master's degree from Pune University in computer science.
Okay, and that's how I think very long back. Maybe not even born that time.
Yeah, I finished on 28th of June 1999.
Great. I think, and after that, you then what you did additional? I mean, that done, and you moved to London, or
No, no.
you did
Then
more
I
school?
got hired by Fujitsu Ikem. or
mm,
IKIL at that time it was called.
mm.
And I was campus selected 6 months ago. Before that itself, during my masters, the date was 17th of August 1998. I can tell you literally all the dates. I got good memory,
Mm,
and I was campus selected, and then uh, IKIL
mm.
tested because of my technical thing. I was posted to California after 6 months to work with
It's
Cisco,
okay.
and I absolutely hated it. One thing I didn't like the American culture, and the weather was too hot. So I said no. And I decided to come back to India. My
Okay.
very good manager, he's the only person I call, so I don't want to take his name in public. Very good person. He told me, Guru, obviously you are good. Would you like to go to London because you like rainy and cold? I said, okay. And he sent me for a 3 months project and then said, then
Mm,
come back, we'll work together. I said, fine. And so via Fujitsu or IKEL, I came to London to work for Fidelity International.
mm,
And after 3 months, my business owner of Fidelity, he said, Guru, we got a bad news for you. Uh, I said, okay, tell me. We want to extend your contract for 4 years. And after that,
awesome.
once I finished 4 years, I was
Mm,
eligible for permanent residency. Fidelity paid 180,000 pounds or something to buy me out
mm,
from IKEA, and I became permanent. So, and I stayed with them for a long time. And this is where my skills started because Fidelity, of course, is
mm.
a very big company in
Very
asset
big company.
management and technology. So I learned not only Java, means of course I was a Java developer and web developer,
Mm,
but they had their own data center in two places, one in Colt
mm,
and one in Oak Hill. So, and I had some awesome colleagues who not only gave me free beers, but also very good knowledge on how to handle servers, how what to do networking. And there is one guy called Mike Wallace. We used to call him Uncle of Linux because he was so good. Man, we used to joke sometimes that don't live in a data center. He will make babies with Linux. That's how excited he gets. Man, he's so good,
okay. Okay.
right?
Mm,
And he taught me something that you can mean sometimes the command he executes on Linux, you'll go, what the heck? He will write multi-threaded programming in shell, man. And
oh,
he will
shell
go and
version.
yeah, and he will go and hack the kernels and all. So he's that good. So he taught me a lot of things that remember your coding or the application development is only 30 to 40%. No one the customer doesn't give a damn whether it's running on a server or an Excel sheet. They want their output. So this is
Mm,
where your culture of learning new things. So when I went from Java to WebSphere and then learn more stuff, web development, and we were coached in the best of the best, which is agile way of working, and which is where I got the bug that don't do monthly releases, no, daily releases.
mm,
And this started for us in 2006 itself. Remember, where cloud was not there, but we had our
mm,
awesome people in Fidelity. So this is where my study started. And as new technology came in, I also contracted for 13 years with investment banks, Goldman Sachs and Citibank and Credit Suisse, of course, which are not small companies. This is
awesome.
where I learned a lot
Mm,
by good colleagues. But one thing was my ego is smaller than my brain. If your
always.
ego is bigger than your brain, then you
Mm,
can't succeed.
yes.
And
Agree.
my passion is like coding or developing systems. People say, Guru, you have 25 years. Why are you not a CTO or a big man? I said, I
I mean,
don't want to be one.
mm,
So this
right.
is where my passion. And as industry standard moves, you look
Mm,
at YouTube
mm,
or I have a collection of books which is still in there, jQuery and Java and design patterns and all those things, which I open every month by having disciplinary. I am very disciplined. Me and my wife both get up at 4:30 in the morning daily, and she makes a lovely coffee at 4:45, and from 5 to 8 I study my personal stuff for my own learning, and then 8 to 9 prepare for the day, including my breakfast and everything, and 9 to 5 is my office. Then whatever is pending, I finish by 7:30, and after that, depending on whether family time or my learning time depends. You have to be very disciplined. I'm sure you are also the
I mean,
same.
you have to. So I also, wake up around 5:30. I have to go gym
Mm,
these days. Previously, I was when
mm,
I'm waking up, I this computer coding and all. But I
yeah,
have to change my lifestyle to cope with my health, happiness,
mm,
and all that. And it's going good.
mm,
Now, another thing. I mean, while adapting to something new, you have to learn a lot, right? So how
mm.
you started learning about cloud, DevOps, and all this taken tool? I mean, you told that you have discipline and all that, but how you started learning all these things? What was the
So
source of
what
learning?
happened was, remember I said mentioned I'm an oldie, right? So when I was there, was not much cloud was there. So
Mm,
luckily I had a house which has a good garage, and it is just behind my house.
mm,
So what did I do? Went to eBay, bought some old servers, and good thing was
mhm.
Fidelity was getting rid of their old servers. So, and the good thing they said is whoever buys this server, whatever money they make, they will give to charity. So I bought some servers for 40 quid or 50
Mm.
quid with 6 GB RAM. Remember, in 2006, 6 GB RAM server was very expensive. So
Yes.
they gave it for 40 pounds. And then I created my own network at home, wired my home for a long time, and then installed VMware EXXI for free, and maintained VMs. And this is where I learned my network skills and Unix skills and Linux. And slowly, I realized that I was maintaining it for like quite good, like
Mhm.
8 9 years, and then I realized that maintaining these servers is really a big pain.
Yes.
And this is where I saw people like run not Ansible. Ansible you can run on-prem as well, but
Yes.
you're running
Docker.
some cloud fusion and Terraform, and these kiddos are like, boom, like I was like, okay, so I need to learn. And then I got good mentors who are, I don't care what their position or what their ages
Mm.
are. I learned from them and they said, Guru, this is how it works. Luckily, I was working for companies who were very broad and they gave us access. Or I didn't really care because I was contractor, so I can either pay tax or make it as corporate expenses. So I made it as corporate expenses, and learned a lot of stuff.
Mm.
And if you think I only have seen success, I have seen a heck
Mm.
lot of failures. But the good thing is I never make failures in production. So
That's the right thing. That's a risky one. So
that's
yeah.
it. No, I get fired for that, right? So,
Yeah, I mean,
and the
that
thing
was
is, I
good.
learned, and my view always has been
Mm.
to share to get reviewed.
Mm.
Tomorrow, most of my code is on GitHub. If you go to GitHub, Webtech Agile Guru or Webtech Agile Guru, yes,
Mm.
you will find my code. Like I literally open source everything because by sharing your knowledge, you also gain.
Exactly.
Because someone will say, Guru, this is a bad idea. Make this as an idea. That way, you can really become better. As they say, my dad used to say. Unfortunately, he died in May. Work today for better tomorrow.
That's a wise word I will say.
Wise
And I
words,
think,
right?
yeah. I mean, and see, failures are a kind of. I mean, I was also told. I mean, my parents also told, and
Mm,
I have very good mentors. They also told like failures are kind of a steps. You fail if you don't fail. I mean, you doubt you're not maybe going the right way. You fail,
mm,
then you might think you're going to the right way because
mm,
success doesn't come suddenly.
no.
It's a kind of steps of failure that bring you success.
Exactly.
So the challenges you're facing, you're not able to do. I mean, I think, as you said, I mean, you tried, you faced so many challenges, just like
Mm,
you, me, and many other guys also, like every single person, not just us,
mm,
try, so fail in initial few steps, and then they try to adapt, right? Learn, failure happen, then they try to search for the solution, then
mm.
they fix it, then they make it, okay, it's working, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
how it gets started, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Uh,
I tried with something else. For example, at that AWS was the number one.
mm,
So I started with CloudFront, not CloudFront.
mm.
What is their tool
Cloud formation,
for
cloud formation, cloud formation.
CloudFormation? Yeah, I didn't like it. It was too much code for me. I was like, oh man, I'm not going to. For me, code should be like a deer. It should not be too fat. It should be lean so that it can run. So I don't like it. So and when Terraform, all those things came in, I was like, because I was using Ansible
Mm,
before because of
mm,
my maintaining my own infrastructure at home, what we call the small lab. I was maintaining, and then came one fine day 1.1 or 1.08 of Kubernetes. Now it is 127. I'm using from
yes.
1.08
Mm.
or 1.8, something
Wow.
like that it was called. I
Okay.
installed,
Long back.
I put an Ansible scripts and
Mm.
installed it on my
Uh,
servers using
garage,
KVADM
garage
and all
project.
those things. And then the good thing is my ISP gives me static IP.
Wow. Never
So
change IP.
then
So
I
it's
put
good.
SSL certificates, everything, and Agile Guru
Uh,
started. But I just learned it for my own purposes because
mm,
I had no intentions of marketing myself. But the good thing is, I then what why I did that was to have my own Git server in my lab so that I can show the code to other people. Like put it here, go to my
yes.
office because remoting into our offices when you're working for US Bank is not possible. But you can pull stuff. So I said, hey, can you
Mm.
open up this IP address so that I can pull code and they would agree.
Wow.
That way,
Then that's good.
yeah, that helped a lot.
Mm. And so you started the cloud, right? Then how you started learning about DevOps? I mean, what are the challenges you face that make you to move to DevOps?
Right. I always I'm always data driven. Let me put it that
Mm.
way.
Okay. Okay.
Once you are data driven, right,
Mm.
everything will come into. See, if you think DevOps was not there before, it's not the case.
Mm.
Remember, you have to be customer focused.
Mm.
That's number one. Then all the things will make sense. Now look at Dora metrics.
Mm.
What is Dora metrics? Dora metrics tells you that there are four metrics. Go and find out Dora metrics. I'm not going to tell what it is, but it's speed of delivery, what is a failure rate,
Mm.
what is the lead time, and how quick you can recover. I'm not going to put all those things because then other people
Mm.
will not find
Correct.
it funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? They
Yeah.
let them go and decide out. Right?
Yes. Yes.
So
They
I
should.
always run by data.
Mm.
Means at Fidelity, which is a very at that time coming up, means of course it's a big company, but it was growing like hell. We used to deliver once in 2 weeks, and our director said this is not good enough. We have to deliver at least one package per day. We had a huge team, obviously.
Mm.
And this is where the DevOps and real CI, real CD, it was not called DevOps in 1990, sorry, 2004, 2005. We used to call ourselves the GOAT team.
Okay.
Goat, not the man goat, greatest of all
It is
time.
of all
So
time.
we were the goat teams, like
Mm.
Guru, you are doing this, you are doing this, you are doing this. And we failed a lot. And but we took, our directors made it very funny. Each time you fail a build, you put on a Mickey Mouse hat. And
Okay.
until someone else fails the build, you put it every day. Whether you fix it or not doesn't matter. You put on the Mickey Mouse until someone else builds. So everyone will be very careful not to fail the build.
Yes, not to wear that one. That will be prestigious.
And remember putting on that hat and going to lunch in the restaurant. Everyone will be laughing at you. But of course,
True,
it's
true, true.
within the office,
Yeah.
not outside, obviously.
It's a
But
fun way. It's a fun way
it's a
to,
fun way.
kind of, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, it was, remember, there was not no ridiculous, ridiculed or something like that. Remember, they were. So this is where the operationability, and remember, once it is deployed to a staging, given that it's investment
Mhm.
bank where the controls are very tight, you are going nowhere near UAT, let alone production.
Yes.
So you have to write the run books and
Mm.
this to the T. Else, remember when I was a contractor, I had to give 1 month's notice. They gave me 1 day notice.
Mm.
So we
True,
don't
true.
like you,
That's
don't
true
come from
everywhere.
tomorrow. Bye. Get
Yes.
out. That's it. But
Yes.
when you want to resign, you have to give 1 month's notice. So that's how it was. But remember, getting into Goldman Sachs itself is a big challenge. They have 10 rounds of interview or something like that. 7 technical, 3 behavioral, and then an MD. So that's how hard it is. But you learn a heck lot, and where
Mm.
how to be disciplined, test-driven development, package everything, run book, automation. Even Selenium tests were automated in 2008. I'm talking about.
Oh,
So
that time it was just starting. That time I think
yeah, exactly.
Selenium
And we
or
were like,
diabetes.
we were most of the investment banks are in the
Mm.
front of technology. At that time itself, we were using ActiveMQ, RabbitMQ, and all.
That I mean that was the early stages of that time, 2008,
Yeah,
7. I mean,
exactly,
just
exactly.
emerging
So,
technologies coming, and
but
just we
and the
were
thing was,
grasping at that time.
yeah, yeah, and trust me, when you're doing high frequency automated trading, milliseconds matters. So, and it was awesome. But remember, some people get tired. I don't get tired. I can work. If you look at some of the things in my previous role at Wipro, there was a problem where there was a major failure in their system, and it was reported to me on Thursday early morning when I was asleep at 4 o'clock. And they've been trying for 2 days, and they said, "Oh, this is a failure." Guru, my wife, like, why are you being
Mm.
called? Like, don't worry about it. I didn't sleep till Saturday early morning, 4 o'clock. Continuously, this. Of course, given it's a production system, I didn't have access to. I had to wait for a couple of hours. So
Mhm.
you do this, I'll make a coffee. And in those 3 days, I slept only for 2 hours, where I was waiting for some infrastructure work was going to be done. And after means they said that it's a critical system. Even if you get 70% of the data, we are more than happy. I said, I will give you 75% guarantee.
Mm.
And it was a compliance database. And also, and it's a lot. I can't tell you the details,
Mm.
obviously.
Yes,
So
I
they
understood
were
that.
like, if you get 75%, that's more than enough. And I said, and the good thing was the client was so good. Any approval I needed, he said, you don't send an email, put it on
Just
Slack,
approve.
or when we are having the meeting, tell me, I'll
Just and
authorize
approve.
it then and there.
Mhm.
So that how good because they wanted it, right?
Yes.
And I didn't play the politics. I said, I want who's authorized me. Okay, you authorize it. That's it. I'm not sending an email. And you do
Mm.
this. I'm going to for 2 hours break that time, and I had a one sutta and came back. And on Friday night, I said 75% has been recovered. By tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, because I go to play badminton at 8. By 6 o'clock, I'll give you 95% back. And at 6:30 or 7, I gave them 98.9% back. All the data, literally picked small
Yes.
shards away.
I
But
think your this story tells that I mean people think people go to out of India, they have an easy life, right? It's not
no,
about easy life. It's about how effort you put. No matter where you go, you have to put effort. Otherwise, you are out of the picture.
exactly.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
And the thing is, my client was more than happy when I said 75. He said, go to sleep. I was
True.
like, I am not happy with this. Let me try.
Mm.
And when your customer and your own managers are very passionate
Mm.
about doing the thing, and on Saturday, when I send an email, this is recovered, this 2% I could not recover despite my try. And unfortunately, I have to go to sleep because I have to go and play badminton in an hour. My client was so happy. He sent a mail to my MD saying that Guru has been awake. There is one in my recommendation in LinkedIn, a post saying that this is how
Oh,
he built. So, and it was awesome. The feeling you get when you succeed, right?
yes.
Far best. You will never know those when you go. And remember, it's not only about you; it's about team.
Mm.
My team was also awesome, and this is where I was here, and suddenly I was managing a team of 120, and I said, "No, I don't want to do that. Thanks very much," and I left.
And I think your story tells put effort, good things will happen, and it happened. I think it happened and all that. So now if someone's starting new, okay,
Hmm.
just say they're starting with the cloud and DevOps,
Hmm.
what will suggest them to like start? People, because I'm getting a lot of question also, like
Hmm.
uh, say, hi Guru, I'm new to cloud, I'm looking forward to learning new things. Like people are coming to cloud,
Hmm.
how they should start, how they should study, how they want, they should be able to grow in their career. If you just
Okay.
say some words about that.
So, for people who don't know me, my name is Guru, by the way. Um, um, I used to be head of DevOps for Volkswagen. I'm sure you know Volkswagen. Well, most of the people in the world will know Volkswagen.
There are
And I
hardly
also
people in the world who
was,
don't know that.
yeah, and I was also working for Daimler. Daimler, of course, is the owner of Mercedes Benz. So I worked for, but not many people know I don't know how to drive a car. I don't have a driving license. But I have sat in some of the best cars in the world, like Porsches and Mercedes and Maybachs. You can think I could touch a Rolls Royce, but couldn't sit in because it was for the Prince of Dubai, so we couldn't sit inside. I was not allowed. But I touched the car, and one car, a Porsche GT RS3 made out of gold foiling, I could touch. $3.6 million was the car. So, so the thing is, why I'm saying this is, don't be afraid, but take small steps. First, learn how to do a cycle, then a scooter, sorry, a Sunny, and then a scooter, and then a BMW. Don't go from cycle to BMW. You will hurt yourself big time. Take small steps, but plan it. Not without doing anything without planning is called a wish. Don't do that. If you see my videos on Agile Guru Lab, sorry, in channel, there is a thing where I and Akshay showed you how to use something called GitHub Projects, which is a free tool, agile management tool. I plan literally everything. In 2 weeks' time, this is what I'm going to deliver. And I make it realistic. It's a DevOps way of working. And once I plan that, if I don't deliver, I feel bad about myself. Yaar, kyun nahi hua? So you plan, you be disciplined, and be realistic, and give some time for bad things. So only plan for 80% of the things, because 20% will fail. You need some time. So don't overestimate. Please don't. 10 minutes mein kar dunga, sir. If I see those words, no. It takes you 10 minutes even to understand what is the problem, man. It will take,
Yes,
how can you fix something in 10 minutes?
yes,
So I plan this and then do it and take small. For example, when cloud came, it was expensive. Remember, now it has become cheaper. It
yes.
was expensive.
Hmm.
So S3 bucket. Now what happened was S3 bucket, if you do over the thing, each egress charges also comes into picture. So what I did is use something called Minio. Minio is a free open source where you can host it internally. So I instead used the simple thing and hosted inside, wrote all the code, everything, and then for production use, just switched the tag and said hit the S3 bucket, the live
Hmm.
bucket. So that way you write programs which will work in various scenarios. Tomorrow, if you want to replace S3 bucket with GCS bucket or something else, you should write your application so that you're not tied to a vendor.
Right.
That you should, because I come from application development background, but
Hmm.
your idea should see, I have seen you writing DevOps scripts in Python. You use Boto 3. Boto 3 can be used not only for this one, you can framework to store your databases anywhere, right? So your
Right.
thinking should be a rule said, what the hell rule? Why did I do that? If you open a code and a month later and you said, why the hell did I do that? Then you are in good position and you make your life and your team's life far better, and you should enjoy it. You should be proud of what you do. Don't do half-hearted work which you're not proud of. It's like, when I was young, I wanted to marry Aishwarya Rai, right?
Okay.
But I think Aishwarya Rai was not clever enough to understand my love, and she went and married a dyslexic guy. His English is bad than mine. But I was the lucky guy. I got Radhika, who's a gold medalist from Salem University, and she cooks excellent food and she sings as well. So who was the lucky guy? You see the point, right? Okay, I didn't get
True.
Aishwarya Rai, but I got Radhika.
You got better.
Exactly.
Right. And I think
Small, small
it comes
steps,
up like
plan it
take
out. Yeah,
small
small
steps,
thing. Yeah,
plan it out, and be focused. Make quality contribution, quality learning, quality implementation. Everything should have the quality. Don't do half-hearted one. That's how you
exactly.
should get
Correct.
started with the cloud. Now, one another question actually, many people ask, not just
Mm,
junior, even some senior people who are in the support or QA, they
mm.
ask me, Sandeep, is programming necessary for cloud and DevOps or not? What do you say on that?
Okay, there are different levels. I always put a level 1 to level 5.
Mm.
5, I am round about 4 because of my 24 years of coding, Java,
Yes. It's a long
whatever.
time.
Right? Exactly.
Mhm.
If you're working only as a DevOps engineer,
Mhm.
or don't, I don't like the word DevOps engineer in the first case, but let's keep it like that because
Yes.
that's a wrong sentence. You say you are an engineer who helps in DevOps practices. That's the right word.
Yes.
Yes, there is no role called DevOps engineer, remember,
Yes.
right?
DevOps is
You're
very
an
vast.
engineer.
You cannot
Yeah.
specify a role.
So let's say you are the engineer who implements some of the DevOps
Yeah.
steps. On a scale of 1 to 10, you should be around 1.5 to 2. Don't do DSAs and all. That is only for programmers and high level stuff. But you should know what is an array, what is a map, what is a dictionary. I'm talking in terms of Python. Okay, I can
Yes.
give lots of example in Java, but understand basic data structures.
Mm.
You don't need to implement a sorting algorithm and all. No, don't do
Yeah,
that.
I mean, you don't need it.
You don't need it. But how to parameterize your application, how
Mm.
to load configuration files, these small things, if you know,
Mm.
you will make your life easier.
Mm.
Imagine you doing one code for development, one for production, and each time you have to switch the branch and change the config. It's bloody boring, and testing becomes a pain. So you don't want to do. So 1.5 to 2 is ideal. One like shell scripting basic, which you will do anyway if you're in IT anyway.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that would be my suggestion. My suggestion is this is for your office work. In
Mm.
personal, go and learn something. Nowadays, you have something called internet on your mobile, man. Just tether your machine to the thing and learn. And you don't even need to install anything on your machine anymore.
Mm.
Go to Killer Coda or just open a free account with Google and their Cloud Shell itself without creating a virtual machine. You can play with, like, they give you like 2 gig of RAM in the Cloud Shell. You can do whatever you want. It's a full, you can install Python and it doesn't forget anything. You can keep it. And my suggestion is put GitHub Git and you can do everything. So you get free resources. I wish when I was young, I had those resources. I didn't. If I
Those
could
time, I
have done
think.
it, imagine the resource you have, guys. So
I think
please,
those time every bit of resource was so costly. I mean,
yeah,
2 GB RAM. I think that was so huge cost. We can even afford it that time.
yeah,
Things
exactly.
change. Time change. We are now carrying 12 GB RAM like this. Before we
Yeah,
even have the 500 MB RAM of that time, right? So
exactly.
times changing and everything changing, and that brings us our next question. What do you think is currently in trend for the cloud and DevOps, and what could be the future of it? Like, what people should learn now? What are the tools, skills people should focus?
Okay. Give me 1 minute, okay? I think
Sure.
I've been talking a lot. Water is needed. So,
Sure, definitely. What is important? I also have water. Why not?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Excuse me. Right. So your question was what is happening in the market and where you
Yes,
see.
currently market.
Yeah. I never say learn DevOps because DevOps is not only
Mm,
culture. Change your mindset a little bit.
mm,
Okay. Think in a different way that computers are cheap now,
mm,
human are expensive. Yeah. Human time, your time is more expensive.
mm,
Would you rather sit and code for 12 hours or and then have only 1 hour of time, especially if you are Sandeep Das, who has a small kiddo, right?
Yes,
Would he
yes,
like to spend 1 hour or 5 hours with his kiddo? Obviously, 5 hours with his kiddo.
yes, as possible.
That's part. But if he sits around and codes for 12 hours and spends 5 hours with his kiddo, then he can't have romantic time with his wife. And he will be so tired, then what happens? Then he will have a fight. So it's not good. So what you should think is turn your mindset and say,
Mm,
how can I do something, as I mentioned, work today for better tomorrow, do automation in such a way that in small increments, obviously,
mm,
where you can deliver better results in an automated way and think the new technologies. For example,
mm,
15 years ago, no one knew what is message driven systems.
mm.
Right now, PubSub is there, SQS is there, everything is there, right?
Lot of things are there.
Exactly. So think data driven. Number one,
Mm,
data driven. If I do this, how much time I'm going to spend? How much effort is this? How much expensive is this? And how soon will this be redundant? Remember, any system you develop will not last more than 5 years.
agree.
Yeah, 5 years, I'm saying like only very banking systems and car manufacturing systems and defense are the only one which has more than lasted for 5 years,
Mm,
right? Not many,
not
especially
yes.
FMCG and all 3 years, that's the shelf life. They keep changing everything. Not the underlying core business systems, but the user facing systems, right? So what you do is something called MVP, minimal viable product. I create a cycle, good cycle. Then with Shimano gears, good. With this one. Then once you have this cycle, don't over engineer with putting an engine. No, that's not a cycle anymore. Keep the
Yes.
cycle, create a moped. But if the moped fails, you will always have a cycle to go to. But if you still keep repairing the cycle, you will not have anything. So
Mm.
keep the cycle, create a moped, and if you're success, create a BMW.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
True.
it is. It's a mentality.
Small, like make small changes, make it big over time, and that's everyone does.
Exactly.
Even
And the thing
the
is,
why
you need to
I,
plan.
yeah,
You need to
yes,
plan. You need to
because
really
five
plan.
years 5 years time is a big time, and
Yeah,
technology will keep coming, right? So
yeah,
I remember one use case, like when I started, I think we also maybe started with the Jenkins, right?
yeah.
And then came so a lot of tools like AWS CI/CD, code build, code pipe, and all this came. Then GitHub have GitHub Action, GitLab have GitLab CI/CD,
Mm,
and it's not the Jenkins anymore. I mean, it is
mm,
there, it will be there in the future, but people requirement keep changing, and always some
mm.
like a lot of companies asking for other tools, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think whatever is customer, like not customer, say the more majority supporting, majority asking for,
Mm.
they should be going for the latest technologies, right? And
Yeah,
of course
exactly.
learn and learn, yeah, bigger things,
Like,
right? Now.
as I see,
Mm, mm,
whether we use GitLab or code build,
mm.
our underlying concepts remains the same.
Ah, exactly.
Our concepts, if you are good with concepts and what happens
Mm,
at a zero level, then you can dig in more.
right.
Problem is, please don't go with the mentality, I want to learn Jenkins. No,
Mm,
I want to learn CI/CD.
yes.
In CI/CD, what happens? Then take the notes, understand why and what. How part you can always learn later.
Yeah.
Understand the why and the what. Lot of people don't think like that. मुझे जेनकिन सीखना है, मुझे पाइपलाइन सीखना है, करना क्या है ना? So, Ade Suvendu Patra, hello sir. He is the brother of my sir, the
Oh,
one who
great,
recruited me.
great.
So, hello. Uh, so, so my suggestion is don't go with like you know, it's like going to a restaurant, which I go a lot,
Mm,
obviously. Um, your idea is not to go to a restaurant. Your idea is to have a good food.
yes,
If you had
exactly.
a very big lunch and then I tell you, Sandeep, let's go for a restaurant, you'll go, no, go away. Even if the best,
Exactly.
because you just had food,
Mm,
right? So your need, how to do it, then we'll decide. Whether you are hungry or not, you have to tell. Yes, I'm hungry.
Right.
Okay, I want to have some beer, and I want to.
Mm.
My missus is angry with me, and she told me she won't cook. I said, fine. Then we have the reason why and the what. Then we decide based on what we want how to go, whether you have to take Uber because if we are drunk, we can't drive back because our license will be
Exactly.
gone. Especially if you are
Yes.
in a foreign country, you'll go to jail. So we'll take Uber. So we're not driving that way because bringing a car back will be a problem. So we'll book an Uber, go there, and to this restaurant because we all agree. This is the how part. Once you do the how part, because you there is backing need, come back. So because my concepts are clear, whether it's Jenkins or CI or GitLab or something, you have the mentality, and you should always
Mm.
not delay things.
Mm.
It's like getting your partner. The earlier, it's better. Okay, don't do it at the age of 14. That's illegal. But have a partner
Mm.
around 21, 22, and get married 25, 26, and have some fun, and then become a father of a cute girl, something like which. In my case, I have a daughter who is going to go to university next year. So you
Oh,
see the point, right? And
yes.
you do steps, but your underlying concept should be very clear
Yes.
of what has to be achieved, how to achieve. Then I can learn Jenkins, GitLab, and left
Exactly.
shift,
And
left shift.
I think the
Hmm.
the major problem. I have also. I think you have students. I also have students, and we tend to see one thing. People are after the whatever trending tech is going on, and what they're
Exactly.
doing, skipping the basic. Like if someone coming to learn cloud, sir, I want to learn cloud, but do you know what cloud it is? And also, sir, is just the cloud AWS. It is not that. It's resources running on someone other places computers, say in the cloud they have data centers. You have to understand all these underlying things. What is
Yep.
compute, what is storage, networking, everything. And they say, oh, there's so much thing to learn. Yes, you have to learn. So instead, I mean, the focus should be learn the basics first, and then slowly like if your base is strong, you can learn anything, any cloud. Like it's
Yeah, your
AWS,
fundamentals
Azure,
has to be
GCP.
correct. Yeah.
Yes, yes, then everything
And
I think will be
for example, and also as I mentioned, your ego should be smaller than your brains. See, when it comes to AWS, I can never compete with you. But on the bright side, you cannot beat me in Java and Spring Boot. Yeah.
agree.
So,
Yes.
and I may be very good at containers,
Mm,
K8s, and everything. But there is a guy called Chimbu in our
mm,
office. He drinks and sleeps Kubernetes, man. And there is a guy called Joshua Fox.
mm,
Find
mm,
out his link in LinkedIn.
mm, mm.
Two master's degree from two different country and a PhD from Harvard. For 40 years, I've been coding, man. Think about that guy. And he doesn't
Forget the
want to be a
pros.
manager. Yeah.
Mm.
That's what, because your passion. Remember, Ranchor Das, passion.
Mm.
Don't be afraid like Raju. And if you are forever afraid, right? Did I lose you? No. We are
Yeah,
back.
I think now, yeah, you came. I mean, some
Yeah.
minor thing, but it's all good.
Yeah.
I
So,
think it's
yeah.
yeah. Sorry, go on.
So
I think,
don't follow your passion. That's what I always say.
mm,
Computing is my passion. I get paid a lot of money for that. Actually, there is a joke around that my daughter has obviously friends, and some of them are male, and they said, "Wait," they call Vandana Vandy. So Vandy, your dad's job is the most good man. He sits around in his shorts, in his t-shirt, wakes up at whenever he wants, puts on the music, attends some meetings, types once in a while, and he gets paid a lot. My daughter thinks the same as well. She thinks that I don't do much. She doesn't understand that.
yeah, the complexity and all that, right? I think don't worry, guys. It's some time. It's some minimum problem happens. It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
happens.
Yeah, it happens. Like technical it happens, but I mean we're able to now continue, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's all good. All they have to just learn, and follow the passion. But one thing happened, like when you like say you learn something, okay, learn from different courses. Now, what are the challenges people face when they start implementing into the actual production system or actual company? What are the challenges usually they face?
Uh, I think I'm repeating the same step: discipline, discipline,
Ah,
discipline. Uh,
yes, yes, yes.
See,
So,
yeah, if you follow discipline, you will remember so much. Your fundamentals will be so clear that doing something different will not be a problem for you. Like, remember when you said, I don't know Golang. I know a little
mm,
bit, but if you know Java, you know most of it. But
ah,
I consider myself as a novice. When you said I'm going to start a Golang thing, I was the first
oh,
guy most probably pinged you and said, hey, please can I have? Right? There is no
yes,
ego. And discipline.
mm,
Why? I want to see what is being implemented.
mm,
But I know that I can go to my own course and do it. But learning from someone who has implemented it has double the thing. You will get it quicker. Then you have more time to practice. Because if I go to a course, you will not be disciplined. Trust me, after YouTube video and all the videos have, at least it's like a course, lots of advertisement will come and they'll go, oh, chalo abhi chocolate khate hain." You will get undisciplined. So that happens to
mm,
everybody. So my suggestion is get itself in a group of 2 to 3 people, not more than that, then
mm,
Bagachodi will
mm,
start. So don't do that. 2 3 people who have the same mindset, become a group and think about the outcome in a defined sprint. You will get it. So, and remember, don't be stuck on one thing. Don't be the
mm.
frog in the well.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
If you do that, you will have safety, but you have to eat all the old stinky fish. Try to jump out of the wall. Chances are two. Number one, you will find a princess and she will kiss you and you will become the prince. Or, unfortunately, if you are in South Korea, most probably you will be eaten. Right. But chances of that are less.
Mm,
So my
mm,
suggestion is jump out and find the next lake. From the
yes.
lake, maybe you
Yeah.
find a very good partner and you can find lotus and you can better fish. And then try to jump more, find a bigger lake, and then you can go into West Bengal and go into the sea if you want to. But be careful, there are sharks there too. So you have to be careful. Protect yourself. But
Mm,
once you know how to escape and become adaptive, all these things should not be hard at all. If an oldie like me can do it, all the youngsters over here can do it very easily with all the free resources and books you are
you're,
available, which are
Guru, you're forever young, man. You're
sorry.
always forever young. Yes, you're forever young, man.
My wife says that, so she treats children with brain injuries, right? So
Mm,
she said you are a oldie with a child's heart. That's what she says.
kind heart, I would say, not just child heart. Now, Guru, I think as well, but with current market and all that, another very big question, another not small question, it's a very big question that do people should focus on certification? Uh, if yes, what certification? If no, then what should be their focus point?
I would say 50-50.
Okay.
Right? Practice
Mm,
to confirm your own knowledge, do the certification.
mm,
Don't go for certification. Plus, please don't do it. It's of no use. Don't read the dumps. Don't read. This is not university where you are qualified by your marks. No. In commercial world, no one cares about your
mm.
marks. Right?
Right.
It's all in the pudding, your output. So if you're learning something, learn for 1 or 2 months with a plan saying that in 3 months' time I'm going to get certified. And then
Mm,
learn the right way, practice, and 3 months later, when you go and 5 6 days before your certification, look at the exam books, not dumps. Please don't do dumps. You will become a dumbass, as they call it. If you read the dumps, you will become a dumbass.
the reality.
Yeah.
True.
I
I
don't
think, I
like,
think
this is my personal view of
no,
obviously.
it's not. It should be. It is what it is. I mean, if you
Uh,
just put dumps, you'll become dumb. The
Yeah,
reason, I
exactly.
mean, in interview, I think you also took people interview. I also took people interview, and I have faced. I will just share one story of that. So I was hired by one Kolkata company, and then you say
Mm,
you're AWS hero, you're a senior engineer, you're working in AWS for a long time. Please come and interview 10 candidates.
mm,
Okay, and for per candidate they're giving me 1,000 rupees. So it was good deal. I
mm,
go there. I took around 15 interviews, and 4 or 5 people came. Rather, I don't have the qualification, but 5 people came, and they showed me I have the DevOps Pro certification. I have the certificate that that Pro.
mm,
I say okay. Explain about VPC, and they just give a definition, and
mm,
I explain about give me tell me how the CIDR plan and how the subnet. And
mm.
I say, what is CIDR? The moment they said what is CIDR, I think you're not qualified. I mean,
Exactly.
you are a DevOps Pro or say the certified Richard Pro, and you don't know the CIDR, you don't know the how to divide the network and all that keep subnet. I mean, what did you learn? So
Yeah,
fundamentally, if interviewer who is taking interviews have some knowledge at least, and they will find out instantly like you are faking it. That's
exactly.
a bad repo. That's
Yeah,
the
CI.
reason also.
So CI, if you don't need to know the full, you can say in a VPC which is across the region. When you
Hmm,
do it, you are allocated a range of IP addresses which
hmm,
defines your net or subnet or private
hmm.
net or private. This is called a CDR. It's a very simple
That's
thing. You
it.
don't need to go to
It
the
is
full
simple
depth.
way.
Pretty simple. And the thing is, as I mentioned, read, don't dumps, but use guides. I'm not saying don't use guides, like
Hmm,
proper books from AWS or GCP or
hmm.
commercial books which are available. Borrow some PDF books from your friends and read and do it genuinely. And if you fail, doesn't matter. Failing is part of the culture. It's DevOps itself tells you that failure is a stepping stone to success.
And
Fail.
I mean, another thing I will say. I mean, this was the failure part.
Mm.
I don't know people know under that. I think I failed certification 4 times. Still, I didn't
Yeah,
do them. I never do them because 4 times I fail. I understand I lack the basic knowledge. That's why I'm failing.
exactly.
I'm failing for a reason, not for anything
Mm.
else. I
Yeah,
studied. I try to implement it because if you try to blindly get it, you'll lose money. I lose a lot
yeah,
of money.
exactly.
Then I thought, okay, enough money losing. Let's focus. Let's implement. And you know what? The magically what happened after I keep learning thing, I implementing everything coming naturally. I don't
Exactly.
have to read anything. I mean, not
Stress
image
out.
articles, just implement, learn,
Yeah,
face issues, implement. That should be well focusing, right?
exactly.
And
Unfortunately, I'm totally
uh,
opposite like you. I never failed any exams.
why?
All the certification I do, I pass. But why?
Mm,
Because I don't look certification as a stepping stone. I look it as a destination to confirm that I know something well.
mm,
That should be your thinking. And that
mm,
way, whether you are 1 year experience or 5 years experience or 10 years experience, doesn't matter. Get the basics, learn something new, share it with others, and make sure that the knowledge is good enough so that you can go and do certification. My company pays me full the money for any certification, even if you fail. My company do it
wow.
pays for it. But and we have literally certificate. There are some Google trainers also in my company who coach Google people and so, but
Mm,
we I have hardly seen anyone fail because we understand things, do things. Our company says
mm,
even if we fail, doesn't matter. But no one
mm,
fails because they don't do certification from a certification point of view. They do
mm.
certification from a knowledge.
Exactly. They implement, they're learning, they're applying. That's what is
Hmm.
coming back. They don't have to remember.
Exactly.
It should come naturally. It should come
Yeah.
like naturally, like breathing. That come naturally. The solution could come naturally. Then only
Hmm.
because question are not like what you read in the books or anything, right? It come like full of like
Hmm.
actual kind of requirement, and they're asking. Then you
Yeah.
give the solution,
Solution. You're
suggest it.
building solutions. So you need to
Exactly.
have answers to problems, not just
Hmm.
theory. This is not university.
So do certification to validate your knowledge, not to get opportunity. Let's dump it because you
Yeah,
might
exactly.
not able to fake it in actual interviews. Right?
Exactly.
Now, wake of all that. I mean,
Mm.
certification, learning different tools, and all that. Uh, how do you think this particular, like say, cloud opportunities, DevOps opportunities, in next 5, 10 years? What do you think? What will going to happen? There will be
Okay.
still jobs, or they will change. What going to happen?
Actually, one part of the things which I didn't answer in my previous one, and
Mm,
apologies for that, is the trends. I
mm,
mentioned DevOps. site
mm,
reliability engineering, platform engineering.
mm,
These are some specialized
mm,
jobs, but ultimately it's all about getting productivity better,
mm.
right? So
Right.
DevOps people used to do, site reliability engineering also people used to do, but there was no formal way of quantifying and qualifying it. We are good. Now 99.99 I want. SLAs,
Mm,
SLOs, and SLIs are here. Platform
mm,
engineering is about site reliability engineering is once it's in production, how well it is running like a good car. But
mm,
how to manufacture that car is in platform engineering. That is the trend which we are seeing.
mm,
I know that because we work for 3,000 clients, so I know that for sure. So, and most of them are cloud native. So, what I'm saying is the trend is DevOps, site reliability, platform. Nothing goes away. Nothing goes away. There will be need, but
mm,
it will become initially. If you just knew CI/CD,
mm.
it was enough. Not anymore. In DevOps now you need to know monitoring a little bit more, little bit of that, little bit of this, but you don't need to be an SRE who knows about system definitions or application development. Please don't compare site reliability engineering. Some companies where production support engineers are called site reliability engineers. The roles is different. Remember, people who are in L1, L2 support, they need to be more sharper because their timelines are very low. We developers, we get a lot of time to do
A lot
stuff.
of time.
Yeah, they
True.
don't. Their projects are half an hour long. If the managers or the people think that support people are bad,
Mm,
they have to change their mindset. This happens mostly in Asian countries because you're judged by number of tickets, not by the problem you're solving.
yes.
But if you look at Western countries, here support engineers are as good as what you say
Normal.
your
Yeah.
developers.
Serious.
They don't have any differentiate because you're solving a different problem per se. So the trending is there, and remember, cloud is not going anywhere. It's becoming cheaper. Your own on premises is becoming expensive. Now, people, because of COVID, have moved out of cities. So, the data center management has become very, very expensive. Hardware has become expensive, and network management has become expensive. So, what do? And you never know how much capacity you need,
Exactly.
right? So, cloud is not going anywhere. You may have to become more specialized a little bit more,
Mm,
but your fundamentals has to be to the T. What we call is T-shaped or V-shaped engineers. Your depth and breadth should be there, but you should be good at what you do. Don't do half-hearted work.
half-hearted things.
Which is
First,
once you
very
do
true.
half-hearted, nothing will work. See,
Yes.
why is Sandeep or Shubham or myself or some of the colleagues we are successful? We are not successful because we are millionaires. I'm not a millionaire, Sandeep is. Uh, I'm not a millionaire, but do I care? No, I am healthy. Saturday, Sundays, I play badminton. Yesterday, I went to a new restaurant called The Mess, which has some of the best South Indian foods in South Indian. Had the best curry and beer, and I play badminton. I am 50 years old. My whole family has diabetes. I don't. My cholesterol levels are very normal. Look, I
Mm.
have a bit tummy, but that comes because of spending.
Sitting and
But
working,
apart,
anything.
yeah, exactly. But apart from that, I don't look like 50. If I black it more, I won't look. I will even look less. I'm thinking of getting married second time, but I have to ask Radhika.
She will kill you.
So yeah, no, she is telling, give me all the money, I'll chill. She'll leave. Of course, she won't.
Okay.
So
Mm.
the thing is, because you are happy and you don't have that pressure of mind, you're able to
Mm.
deliver more,
Yes.
and you keep yourself happy and healthy. Please also understand your health and your well-being matters more. Remember, you can buy the best beds, you can never buy sleep.
Exactly.
That's
Being happy
golden
is
word
important.
from my dad. You can buy the best beds, you can never buy sleep. So make sure that you do such work that you can get good sleep.
Yes. Agree. Absolutely agree on that part.
Yeah, that's
Health is
that's
very
how.
important.
Yeah, that's very important. So Ranchor Das, he had all the money, but he said, I love engineering. And don't, even if you're L1, L2 support, don't feel bad about yourself. But, means, my dad used to tell, तुम भीख मांगोगे ना तो तुमको लोग भिखारी जैसे ट्रीट करेंगे. If you beg, people will treat you like a beggar. Demand. Don't go and mug them saying, hey, पैसा तो तू शूट कर दूंगा. No. You say, मैं सर आपके लिए काम कर दूंगा, आप मुझे पैसा दो. If you do good work, वो बोलेगा यार और काम बचा हुआ है.
Yes,
बहुत
people
है,
always
I'll
look for
give you
good.
money. Yeah, good quality always pays you well. So don't beat yourself. यार मेरे पास अभी अच्छा काम नहीं है. Don't overthink. See, I wanted to marry Aishwarya Rai, but once she married Abhishek, I said, I don't have any chance. Okay, let me find someone else. नहीं तो मैं if I waited for till she retires, sorry, not retires, she files for a divorce, which is not going to happen. So I would have been a bachelor for my life, which of course I don't want to.
True.
Poor Aishwarya Rai.
Definitely. But one thing I think I would love to ask you another thing, that if people in this tech profession say, yeah, I mean, you have a lot of experience. What should I mean? The first, say, 1 or 2 or 3 year, what should you be doing? And the next 4, 5, 6 years, what should you do? Or like, what should they should do? I mean, of course, it's based on their passion, but in general, what is the flow they should follow?
Try solving problems. Don't do right hello world. Hello world is of no use.
Never going to solve.
No.
Sure. Yeah.
Think one. Find a mentor who can spend 1 hour per week with you, who has lots of commercial experience, and ask them why and the what part. Sir, if I'm starting a project, what happens? Why happens? Then you do the implementation of the how part and get the feedback. Once you start getting into that mindset, you will now, in 3 years or 4 years' time, not only know the how bit, but you will know the why bit and the what bit. And for the entrepreneurs who are here, they will know how business works. Remember, we don't develop software or system for fun. It is very expensive.
Yes.
So you develop something for some outcome. Think about the outcome you want to achieve. Don't do hello world. If I check in into main and hello world, and if I deploy my blog, oh, I'm good. No one gives a monkeys about that.
Yes.
Right? For example, today is what, Saturday or Sunday? Today Saturday. On Thursday, I delivered a Kubernetes customized Nginx K-cert training for 20 people. One of the biggest companies in Sweden. I can't give you the name of the company, obviously. Remember, Swedish people are smart anyway. Right? You teach them and they ask questions. Guru, without writing an HPA, how can I make sure that when I hit number of HTTP requests, it automatically goes? I go, Then I remembered, okay, what is, and they said, one of the problems they said is, my scaling problem is not within the Kubernetes cluster. I have 2-3 replicas. But what if there are lots of messages which is coming into PubSub, and if there are more than 300 messages lifting, I want auto scale in my Kubernetes. Thank God, I was learning about this 2-3 years ago, and there is something called KDA, KDA.sh. I said, install this plugin, this one, and it automatically use a service account, set this one in, and viewer, and this happens, it will automatically trigger. And it was the best conversation I had, and they were like, oh, how do I do this? I said, don't make your life hard. Use open telemetry. Do this configuration. Here's the source code. Don't install Prometheus on GKE. It's already there. Don't do the donkey work. Once you do, and my view is, don't go to the keyboard first. Think. Notepad is there, good, but the sooner to the keyboard to code, the worse solutions they are. There's a reason you design a system first and then build a house. You don't build a house and
Right.
then design it. You design a
It'll break
system.
otherwise.
Yeah, that's the thinking. Think first and think about, if I do this, what will be the failures? Will it the customer like it? Will it last for long? For example, look at Sandip's setup there. He has thought about long term. He bought a house in a place which is beautiful so that he can have romantic time. Okay, okay. Number
True.
two, he has got a house and he has very good internet connection. He has his own office. There is a spare monitor in the back, and there is two internet connections, a beautiful mic. And if that mic fails, he has a Mac which has a good mic
I have
too.
another mic. This
And
one.
there's one
So
in the
another
back
mic.
too. Exactly. I have three webcams.
Wow.
One is this one is that one, and one is Mac. And I have two mics and three speakers and three monitors. Why? Because I think about failures. Failures will happen. No system is fail proof. So think about failures as well. That would give a very good outcome of what you need. So, hello world. No. Write an application, 3-tier, multi-tier application, and see how flexible is your deployment, how flexible is your code, how quick you can do, and look at the Dora principles. And if you follow the Dora principles, then you should be.
I think
Sorry, Dora
that's
metrics.
and all the session. I think excellent. Now another thing, okay, and many people, it's just many people. I also know in starting uh, thought about people should learn Kubernetes or not, and if yes, would Kubernetes should be enough, or with Kubernetes, what should be their mastering? Like they should be focusing on.
Okay, definitely learn Kubernetes for sure. Um,
Yes.
Kubernetes, but only don't learn the basic Kubernetes. Don't. Oh, thank you, Shivamji.
Thank you,
So,
Shivam, for being with
uh,
us.
definitely learn Kubernetes for sure, but only don't learn surveys, deployment, replica sets, and volumes. Nowadays, IDE plugins can generate the code for you.
Yes.
Exactly. But for example, I don't like SSL certificate management. It's a very boring, tedious.
Yes.
What did I do? I did search, research, and then made a package of something called KCert. But the only, because most of my applications are public facing, it's not private. So what I did was, the only thing which is needed is a let's encrypt challenge, which will go and do it. So I found this guy, and he was developing and got it, and then make it work. And then now what I do? Implemented this one and secret and just left it. I have stopped maintain, and remember, let's encrypt certificates are there for only 3 months. After that, they
Yes,
expire.
it has to auto renew. I mean, we
Uh,
have to the
yeah,
domain based
renew
auto
it.
renewal should be there.
I don't want to renew. That's boring job. What I did, KSET does it for you. So I set up the things, and it checks every month whether the certificate is expired. If it expired, it automatically updates it with almost zero downtime. So what do? I just put it on Kubernetes using Nginx controller, and then write code to dump things. So don't maintain infrastructure. That's not your responsibility. Maintaining infrastructure, remember, maintaining infrastructure or physical or shared responsibility model, that's your cloud problem. Think about software problems or solution problems. Don't try to do boring non-value stuff like SSL management. Don't sit there and say, I manually increasing the auto scaling group. Then it's not auto scaling, it's scaling group, and you have to
It's
click.
not auto
It's not
scaling.
auto
It's not
scaling.
auto scaling.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
it has to.
Oh,
That's one of the reasons I used KDA, where it has plugins to auto scale based on systems which are not even within Kubernetes, like your pub
just
sub
like
and all those things.
those are our custom metrics, right?
No, yeah, custom metrics, or you can go to Prometheus metrics and say, if this is the metrics, go and trigger this thing. And the thing is, think about automation so that your brains can be used for productive stuff, not boring stuff.
Business logics. Put your mind on the business logics more, right? Not on the boarding
Exactly.
problem. Boarding
No,
problems tend to automate.
yeah, exactly. Think about the outcome. I don't want to maintain SSL certificates. Okay, let's find out. Invest 10 days. Case are done. Put a go to uptime. which is a free tool which checks something, or even your cloud provider does an uptime check. It's almost free. Say SSL,
Hmm.
SSL certificate, HTTPS hit. If it's not 200, send an alarm. I never got that alarm yet. So use
Hmm.
your logic to build stuff which will do the stuff for you, and then forget about it.
And one should focus on the core Kubernetes or with the cloud, because I think these days, as you say, everyone moving to cloud, and it will
Yeah.
be, of course, for future also. Nobody want to maintain the infra cost in a local data center. It's very huge cost, right?
No,
So
no.
one should put focus on the core Kubernetes or Kubernetes with the clouds, like
Uh,
EKS,
See,
GKS.
nowadays, if you say I'm maintaining a Kubernetes cluster in my own data center, then you will look stupid, I think.
Yes.
In most of the cases, unless you work
I
for some very specialized
yeah.
companies like for example, German car companies,
Mm.
they are very restricted by the government not to put anything in the cloud.
Then you don't have any other option, right?
Yeah.
You have
So,
to on data center.
for example, Swiss laws does not allow its banking things to
Mm.
go outside Switzerland. So unless your cloud provider has Switzerland-based data centers, it ain't going anywhere. No. So there are some rules and regulations which is defined by either by the company. For example, HIPAA standard. HIPAA standard is for your medical. So
Yes.
now, yes, now HIPAA standard. So I can't go and use Vercel. No, even though they are, I have to
Mm.
use either AWS or GCP, or else I have to make my data center HIPAA compliant, which I tell you will take
Which is
you years to get it.
impossible.
It's
Impossible. I
almost
will say it's
impossible.
impossible.
Exactly.
Almost impossible. Yes.
Yeah. So what do you do?
Hmm.
Make sure that you use a service which is HIPAA compliant and work on the application not to get your HIPAA compliance.
Yes.
And make sure that if if you design your system, for example, HIPAA, if you are in EU, you can store it in Berlin and in Amsterdam. But if you
Hmm.
are UK, you have to make it in London only. You can't put it in Ireland
Ah,
because Ireland is part of UK is not part of EU anymore. So make sure that your systems are there. So don't only work on Kubernetes. Think what if scenario. This fails, that fails, this fails, this fails, and think of not only the core system. You need to know the core anyway, but look at egress costs. For example, don't put a container registry in US and have your application running in EU. Your egress cost will be so much, half your cost will be that. So please be careful of where you put your data, how
hmm.
close is it, and use the appropriate system like caching and be near to your customer. Remember, customers are becoming very demanding.
Hmm.
If your website is slow, they won't come
Hmm.
back. So think about customers. For that, automatic scaling, automatic caching,
Hmm.
CloudFront or CDNs, static content, Netflix. Look at Netflix.
Yes.
How much engineering? Half of their work is engineering.
Yes. And they put a lot of efforts. Do it
Exactly.
chaos engineering, do it their scaling, do
Mm.
it their bare metal, do it like everything. They covered
Everything.
automation, scripting, advancement, advanced logic building. They put focus on the system design more,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's where people fail designing the system. Because if you
Yeah.
do it wrong way, everything fails. They put very much
It's
effort
all
on that.
data driven. It's all data driven.
Hmm.
I could not do this. Okay, I will write an application to fix that problem first.
Hmm.
So it's all data driven. Remember, AWS, GCP, or even Azure, all these are data driven. Each time we raise a support ticket, someone says, I'm spending 100,000. I would rather spend 50,000 for 2 months and fix it so that I don't have to spend money on this anymore.
Hmm.
Because we are not getting cheaper. For example, if I
Hmm.
want to hire Sandip Das, I have to pay him at least 1 crore rupees per year. Yeah, I can't afford that. So what I will do is I'll automate the stuff and say Sandeep fixes. I'll give you 20,000 pounds and fix it, and then I don't have to pay him anymore.
Yes. Yes.
But I won't do that, but you see the point,
Hmm.
right? Because
Yeah.
there is something called cost benefit analysis, right? You spend so
Hmm.
much cost, you get this much benefit. If the cost is more than the benefit is less, don't do it.
True.
That so we
Agree
are
on
very
that part.
careful.
And I think one good point you told is the data cost. People do this crazy, that's this step. We can spin up 1,000 servers, this and that. We'll have image in Docker, maybe, or maybe Docker there, or maybe other registry. Everyone misses, and not everyone, I'll say most of people misses that data point, because at the beginning they will not see the bill, right? But as the traffic grows, as the number of deployment grows, is the cost shoot up like a rocket. And then the CTO, the team lead come, what you did, why is the cost is high? Like this is what
Exactly.
happens, right? People miss the point that don't just plan for the like more deployment or more application or more pulling and all. You have to think about the data perspective, because data is also very costly, it's not cheaper, right?
Exactly.
um put to any
And,
cloud, I
and
think
for
it's
that,
all costly.
yeah, as they say, hope for the best, plan for the worst.
The worst.
Yes. And
Mm.
do your load testing and soak testing. Soak testing is where you let run 100 concurrent users for 3 months and see what is the cost. And you go, holy crap, this is getting okay. We have to redesign. And have budgets. If you're in cloud, keep your budgets. Anything which goes above this, and you do your soak testing and it goes above, ooh, our system is a
Mm.
problem. Alerting, monitoring of your cost, or FinOps as they call it,
Mm.
you definitely need to pay attention to that. Remember, again, computers are cheap,
Mm.
humans are not. And remember,
Mm.
humans, when they consume more, they make your computer stress, and this is where it becomes expensive. And if the system goes down, then no one will come back, and you will lose your business very soon. So make and you will guys, people who work for them also lose their jobs. So it becomes very, what we call, the ripple effect, as they call it,
Yes,
right? So we
absolutely.
have to be very careful. And as I mentioned, don't have the ego that manage system. I designed this system. After 2 years, it has not been there. Don't. There are some very good projects which has been developed by Google. It doesn't even come to live and they scrap it. Google Glass.
Yes,
Google Glass, what an
nobody saw it.
ultimate project.
I think they made a
Not,
phone also,
yeah,
like module phone, but they didn't bring up like everything you can replace, right? That one also they didn't bring. A lot of things
exactly.
they
So
do
don't have
experiment.
your
They
egos. No,
R&D.
no egos. No
Right.
egos.
Yes. I think another thing, like say you're talking about the no, putting the fault. Like there are a lot of tools here. Like Chaos Monkey from I think what is the company? Uh, Netflix,
Litmus.
right? No, that is from the Netflix. Chaos Monkey, or say AWS just released 2 or 3 days back fault injector. So you
Yeah,
can
I
like
think
put
that, oh,
fault.
that was superb, man. That was superb.
So I mean, I was experimenting. Our company is so good. They asked Sandeep experiment that, so that we have a lot of Kubernetes cluster running. You try and
Mm,
experiment failure there. I mean,
mm,
previously they are using I think Lucast. So that is a load
mm.
generator one. But
Yeah.
I also wanted to do something like which not just the URL, say HTTPS based or something HTTP protocol based, but something that we can directly inject the fault. And then the
Mm,
moment I saw there's a inject fault injector there, I let the company know. They say drop everything else to test that one. That
yeah,
is the thing I
exactly.
wanted to. That is
Yeah.
should
I
people
mean,
should be doing that.
experimenting should be part of your
Hmm.
culture.
Exactly. And there will be a fault you cannot. Like, I mean, I'm seeing one very good use case. I had a one cluster, okay, one cluster production cluster. I was
Mm,
using some spot instances tolerant,
mm,
and some are like normal, okay. And
mm,
I able to. I mean, I forgot to put a taint on that. So people
mm,
like application are supposed to not run in that taint, the say the one is taint, but I didn't configure it properly at the beginning.
mm.
So application not scaling, auto scaling properly. Auto scaler is not scaling because it's trying like it have the resources, not in the
Yeah,
on demand, but in the spot. But
yeah.
since I have not configured properly, I say I have put properly the auto scaler. I have put everything service account all okay. I have all the access, note have everything is needed. Why it's not scaling? Why not scaling? Then okay, oh I put the problem in this the fault tolerant and all that. I say okay. Maybe even
Yeah,
smaller configuration if you're not focused enough, it can make issues.
yeah.
That
And
should test use
this
this.
is where infrastructure as code comes
Yes,
into picture.
I see.
Please don't go to the UI and click. Don't. I
Never,
hate
never.
doing that. Yeah, I hate doing that.
I think at the beginning, who are the learner, they should learn how to do it and all that. But as they proceed further, get experience, they should move to this kind of things, right? That
Exactly.
should how it is.
Yeah.
So that should be a part of the learning and experience and
Discipline.
all.
It's again discipline.
Agree.
discipline. मेरे daddy bought means he was my best friend,
Mm,
but he was a civilian who used to work for the military. So
mm.
discipline was part of my upbringing. Like 8:30 को खाना नहीं खाने आए तो खाना नहीं मिलेगा.
That's so true.
And
And I
there
think
was no.
while we're talking about this infra as a code and all, there are a lot of tools also, right? For example, Terraform, CloudFormation. CloudFormation is the beginners, but Terraform is very easy, as you in the beginning also said, right? Pulumi is there, and I
Hmm,
think as days goes on, there will be things coming, right?
hmm.
So,
Yeah,
what you will suggest, or what the tool any beginner wanted to go to come into the ISC, what will suggest them?
I would suggest is for configuring your servers, keep Ansible,
Mhm.
and to provision your infrastructure, keep to Terraform.
Mhm.
Why I'm saying this is Pulumi, even though it's been in the market, it has not got the
That
traction it
traction.
needs. And also, cloud formation is a bit hard. But
I
actually, I'm going to tell you something where people maybe they don't know.
Mhm.
Uh, just give me 1 minute. I just actually AWS
Terraform
released
for that,
something. No, no, hold
yeah.
on. AWS,
Terraform for I think that
AWS, hold
uh,
on.
what is that?
Just give me 1 minute. AWS.
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
CDK for Terraform maybe probably. Or not.
okay.
By the way, when we're going through, if you have any question, feel free to ask to Guru.
Yeah.
We'll just we
So
have
there
10
is
15 minutes.
something called in GKE, uh, Google, there is something called config connector.
Okay.
Okay. Where you write YAML and
Mhm.
it will go and create MySQL there. And AWS in the last week has released something like that. So you create manifest, Kubernetes manifest to create a MySQL RDS instance somewhere.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, you don't go use the IC tool. You can use Kubernetes configuration manifest to create the
Exactly.
resources.
So
I think
YAML,
one
yes.
example will be the load balancer, for example, the ingress part, where if you
Yeah.
just use help plugin for say load balancer, you don't have to go manually create or even use the ISE using that Kubernetes manifest file. You can create a load balance ingress,
Exactly.
right?
I'll tell you the name of project.
Hmm.
By the way, you answer some of the questions. Give me
Yeah,
one
I
minute.
mean, sure. Okay, one question came that full stack web developer versus data engineer versus DevOps engineer, more opening job package, future growth, high demand. It's a kind of comparing
Um,
thing. Like, yeah, if you have
it
any opinion.
depends. It depends. It totally see if you are good at one. See, I am not a data engineer,
Hmm. Not them, yeah.
but learning a web developer. See, web
Ah,
developer, full stack web developer. For example, if
hmm.
you tell me to do the pixel level and all, that is designers. That's
Hmm.
not my job. That's not a
Yes, not.
developer's job. Remember, there is nothing called DevOps engineer. Please remove that word called DevOps engineer. It's all engineering. So
Hmm.
you data engineer is good title. Full stack developer is a good title. DevOps engineer, to my mind, is like not a role per se, but hey, that's thing, right? So I couldn't find it the AWS. I'll let you know a little bit later,
Yeah, we
Sandeep.
can post later also. It's like lot
Find
of
it
things,
out,
right?
right? So what they are doing
Hmm.
is don't you become a good engineer,
Hmm.
whether it's a web developer or a backend
But
developer or something, whatever is your specialization, don't see, look at me, okay? I started as a Java developer and I was contracting, I was making good money. What made me do all DevOps and infrastructure engineering is just the learning aspect. Now, instead of having one skill, I have three skills.
true.
I have three skills. Trust me, in the last 10 years, I never go look for jobs.
People should
Right?
focus on these words because this is so important. If you have skills, job will come after you. Even existing, if you're very good at your current job, they will not never want to leave you because
Yeah,
you're performing even beyond the expectation. This is what
exactly.
happens.
So I had one skill, I added
Mm.
more, added one more, added. one more, and suddenly you get noted. Trust me, once you get the skills now, you will be found out very
You
easily.
get loaded.
Then you don't have to go for work, searching for work. Work will कामयाबी तुम्हारे पीछे दौड़ेगी, as Ranchod Das mentioned.
Exactly. Like, yes.
That's how it is. It's very simple. Uh, once you become a diamond, you will be put on a crown.
On ground.
You will be put on a crown. If you stink like cow dung, only beetle will come to you. So it's up to you to decide what. So don't restrict yourself. A diamond can become a necklace, a pendant, a crown, anywhere, as long as you are good quality and people would like to have you. So become that diamond where you can be multi-used. And तू बोला यार ये डायमंड के पीछे क्यों भाग रहा है? क्योंकि मैं 3 साल डायमंड फैक्ट्री में काम करता था पॉलिशिंग.
As a policy, yeah. I think all good. Now, this brings all another question. Okay, skills and all that. You know, AI making impact in our everyone's profession. AI making, right? What do you think Chat GPT or such AI is making impact as in our life as a DevOps engineer? What do you think about that?
One quick question for you, Sandeep.
Mm.
Do you have an office? Do you have a housemaid?
I have, definitely. Otherwise, it will be a problem. A lot of things to do.
Right. Does the housemaid decide what needs to be cooked?
No, we tell the housemate what need to be cooked or what need to
So
be cleaned.
she's Chat GPT. You are the consumer.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Chat GPT is an assistant. Remember, it does not invent anything. It looks at the data. Yeah. It is some huge repository, what called LLMs, large models, and it gives you the return back. I have seen some Chat GPT which is totally wrong. Trust me. So don't. She or he is an assistant. Chat GPT is an assistant. It doesn't have the context. It is just, trust me, in the next 10 years, maybe it will take the low-lying, minimalistic, boring crap jobs away. But anything which requires more than 5-6 years experience, it's not going to take. Because one thing is, go to investment bank. If you open chatjot, openai.com first, it will not open at all. Because they're restricted.
You don't have the access. Restricted, true.
Yeah, government jobs, no. Because if you go to defense, all the defense data will never be on GPT. So don't even think about models.
100% sure.
Yeah. Number 2, it doesn't have the context. Number 3, it only thinks what you want based on the LLM models or what have been designed on the data which they have. Any new technology comes, it doesn't have the data. Somebody has to feed it. What if you want to do something new, which is, for example, the new tool which I mentioned, AWS? It will not know unless someone feeds it.
Exactly.
It's so. And also remember, if a diamond cannot be in a necklace, it can be on a crown. And if, let's say, tomorrow Charles King, who just become the king, he decides, I don't want to put on a crown, he can put it inside a ring. But still, the diamond is still a diamond. Your skills are still relevant. You will become, remember, you are the, take what we call dog eat dog food. Chat GPT is hosted on cloud. Someone is maintaining the infrastructure, right?
Exactly. And I think when the bill is came, I think some $1 million they're spending. And if they don't reduce the spending, they will go out of
business. Exactly.
Yes.
So remember, Facebook has its own data center. They don't use AWS and GCP.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they don't want whatever they are processing. Remember, some very, very intelligent people are there who only work on the photos bit. I know that. For example, when each time you upload the photo, it is not just storing it in there. There's a heck lot of analysis goes on your photos. And I know that because the head of engineering of the photos and the graphics system is my co-brother,
We are
Mr.
getting insider data, man.
So his name is Krishna Noru. Just find
Okay. Hmm.
Krishna Kishore Noru, and before
Hmm.
that he was the head of design for Tegra chips at Nvidia.
Wow. Big
Tegra,
things.
everyone knows Tegra chips, right? So
Yeah.
most of the mobiles,
Hmm.
apart from Apple,
Hmm.
right, the photo encoder decoder software is
Hmm.
encoded within a Tegra chip. The lead system design was my co-brother,
Wow.
Krishna Kumar Noru. We write in
Hmm.
Java, they write it in assembly. Because they write at chip level,
That
right?
was yes, yes,
Right?
yes. It
And
has to be.
so he is the now head of engineering on the photo side of Meta.
Hmm.
And they spend millions and millions to just scan your photo and say, this photo was taken in Norway or Sweden. How would
Hmm.
they know
Yes.
that?
They analyze the
Automatically.
data,
So there is a
background,
heck
everything.
lot of things happening.
Hmm.
So jobs are not going to go anywhere. AI will be used as an assistant to get the infrastructure. But your jobs are not going. It is going to more and more and more data will be coming.
True.
So don't worry about you losing your jobs and all. Ah, don't sit around. Don't be the frog in the well.
Yes. Explode.
You will
Explode more.
one
There's
day
everything.
the fish
Yeah.
will finish and you will end up dying in the well.
Yes.
So jump out, find a princess, kiss her, and become a prince.
True.
But make sure that you don't do it in South Korea. Someone will eat it. Someone will eat you. So be careful.
So yeah, be smart, be explore, don't be over smart, otherwise you'll be eaten. In the chat GPT particularly, you explore, users are made or say helper. Okay. So get things done quickly and faster. So you don't want to focus on say low lying stuff. Which you like a maid making cook and all that. You make small things, but you are the head. You are the logical part making decision to get things done. Like ChatGPT, for example, we want to generate Kubernetes manifest. Just ask for the specification and they give us a format. Then we have to optimize. We cannot like it will be a great mistake if we just copy and deploy. So
No.
we have to we have to tell them like put restriction on the resource usage, put restriction on the for example say availability at the liveness probe and all the things we have to
And
perfect
for
it.
example,
And
your security context,
exactly,
run as
exactly.
what user, how much is your HPA, how many replica sets. ChatGPT will never know.
Yeah, you have to give information to every
Yeah.
information and lot of help information, then only it can analyze and because it don't know it's not like human brain just guess. No, you have to tell and feed all the data, then only it can make kind of suggestion. It's just all large, as I say, it's a large model making assumption, making the things just logically making the decision. Now one question came, I think it's from Shoham, and I am system administrator in TCS. I'm doing APM related task on ELK. I'm currently learning DevOps related tools. Will it be easy for me to switch from system to DevOps? What do you say? I have the water first. I also have my water. We
I'm
talk.
sure
We're
you know the
talking
answer already, but I'll tell you.
about. Please. Mm.
I don't like the word switch.
Hmm.
If you already have a skill, one,
Hmm.
then you know DevOps. I was a Java developer. Did I leave Java and became a DevOps engineer?
No.
No, I kept both.
Hmm.
मुझे साइकिल भी चलाना आता है, स्कूटर भी चलाना आता है और प्लेन भी उड़ाना आता है. Not in real sense. You see the point
In
there,
the
right? Yeah.
from the business perspective, yes.
Yeah. So imagine from a recruiter's perspective, recruiting manager. Let's say tomorrow you decide to do DevOps. You write, I'm a good DevOps
Hmm.
engineer. बोले का यार DevOps अच्छा था. सर, इसके पहले ना मैं सिस्टम इंजीनियरिंग भी करता था. तो कल कुछ डेटा सेटअप भी करना, टेस्ट डेटा, if I want to set up, I can do
Hmm.
that as well. The first thing manager will think, by selling one pay salary, I'm getting two people.
Yes.
So
That's how
don't
it
use
should
the
happen.
word switch. I hate that
Hmm.
word. You're multi-skilled. Leverage it.
Yes.
See, tomorrow, well, maybe not never. I can
Not
never
tomorrow.
be as smart as Sandeep in AWS.
No.
That's the truth. I don't have egos, but doesn't mean that I will say I only do GCP.
Mm.
I will say I know GCP, I know application development. AWS आता है क्या? Sir, with all the experience I have, I can do AWS also, but I need 2-3 months. And if you can mentor me, I will do production level with you very soon. And I will learn and document it. So it's your case, right? I'm a system administration to DevOps. No. I will say, sir, I've used my previous experience in other things to make sure that the DevOps practices where system administration is part of the job, you get 2 for 1. So please don't use the word switch. Say you're multi-skilled, right?
Exactly. And this is the truth.
So think from a recruiter. If he's getting one person for doing
Uh,
one, then he has to hire 2 people. But if you bring both system administration and DevOps, you are the best person for him, man.
exactly. Exactly.
And
That's
he
you
can
should be
demand more
multi-skilled.
salary as well. He can demand more salary.
And they have to give it because they are getting multi-skilled person in cost of one, so they can put some adjustment and negotiate a bit higher, right? So that's a
Exactly.
plus. That's a plus.
That's what. So please don't use the word switch.
Hmm.
Say you're multi-skilled, you can do multiple jobs, or in England, as they say it, wearing multiple hats at the same time. Multi-feathered hat.
Switch. Yeah, I think Smita Kalka said that instead of switch, call it a leverage. Very good word.
Exactly. Perfect wording.
Okay.
Thank you, Smita ji.
Mm, Sorry. Thank you for your Turkey. Okay, so one question is that from Rahul Dev saying, do you need to learn VirtualBox or like do it have any practical implementation? I think
No,
in the context of
you
cloud and
don't.
DevOps.
My assumption here is you have a decent laptop and you are using Windows.
Yes.
Only then you are using VirtualBox.
Yeah.
My suggestion is don't. Why do you need VirtualBox? You're not going to run an IDE in that because you have a Windows machine. So you get, for IDE development purposes, Windows is more than enough. Use Visual Studio Code. It has loads of plugins to literally do everything. Yeah.
I agree.
Or if you like IntelliJ or anything else, I use Spring Source Toolkit. Why? Because one, it is specifically built for Spring. Number two, my cousin works at VMware. So Spring is owned by VMware, so kind of, right? So I get free premium support, not officially at least, right?
So
That
much.
one, yeah. And then if you install VirtualBox, it's really emulating Linux on your machine. It's not real Linux; it's emulating using QMenu. QEMU it's called. So quick emulation. And remember, then you have to load the whole operating system. Tomorrow, if you want to learn Ubuntu or CentOS, it becomes a pain. My suggestion is, if you have a decent Windows machine, install WSL, which is Windows System Linux, and install Docker. Install Docker on your machine. If you have Windows 11, it can be done very easily. Install WSL, install Docker Desktop. If you want to learn Ubuntu, create a Docker file from Ubuntu, run Docker run Ubuntu, exec -ti and shell, and you get a Ubuntu right there.
Working
If you
Ubuntu
want
machine.
to learn core, say Docker run CentOS :7 minus bash, and you have a CentOS machine. Why make your life? It's like, when you go to a restaurant to eat, you're buying the whole restaurant. Why? You're not going to sit and cook there.
Just
Why?
get what you need. Don't have to buy them.
Exactly.
Just
Don't.
get the, that's it.
Yeah. See, you are not going to run a whole ID in your VirtualBox. That beats the point. Yeah. So please understand that keep your resource useful to. I'm not saying VirtualBox doesn't have any practical implementation, but in the modern days, no one uses it. By the invention of Docker, you should be able to get along 90 to 95% of what you need to do. Unless you want to play with networks and all, my suggestion is, for the amount of resources it kills your laptop, get a free AWS account or a free tier and learn on that one.
Yeah,
I
good.
would
That's
I
even
would
better.
seriously suggest that.
I think this is the last question I will take for today. Is from home. There are less opening compared to as developer roles as far as freshers are considered. Mostly there are support roles. How to tackle this problem? And then this is a very practical problem. What was the suggestion on
Okay.
this?
Home, think from a business perspective. If I'm doing a multi-million dollar project, and if I give you a developer's role, chances of you succeeding are very less. Let me finish, by the way. I'm not done yet. But if you are in a project where you do support roles, but if you perform really well, your team leaders will see it and they will give you better jobs over the time. Remember, it's all about delivery. See, ultimately, no one gives a monkeys about your career or my career. Everyone only cares about their own career. A company CEO only carries about his company and his salary. And he will do all the best he can to make his company successful. And if he has to pay you more, he will do. If he sees talent, he will pay and he will give you better roles. So my suggestion is, be patient.
Hmm.
For first, I'll tell you my case. Okay, when I was at university, I was very good at TSRs, which is writing viruses in CC++. If I apply
Wow.
for a role for
Hmm.
creating to a company, oh, I will create viruses, they will say bugger off. And they will put me as a web developer in
Uh,
Perl.
okay. Hmm.
I hated that language at that time because I did not know the power of
Hmm.
regular expressions.
Hmm.
It's one of the most, and I hated it. But then, because I hated it, I was put in a support project. In one
Hmm.
corner, I used, and all my colleagues, they used to get sexy projects. Yeah, I was put in the, because
Hmm.
my team leader did not like me also. So I was put in a corner. But in 2 months, remember I told you the L1, L2s are the
Hmm.
people who have only half an hour schedule rather than months
Hmm.
to deliver. Ticket was like flying like this. So I could fix the problems and I got so much experience in 2 months' time. When the application went to production and they failed a lot, people used to come to me. The same team leader said, Guru, solve it. I said, no, you give me a better role. I will do this and this, both. I won't switch, but you give me a better role. And he agreed. Well, because his project was on jeopardy, that's why. So
Hmm.
my suggestion is, don't look at
Hmm.
support roles as a problem.
Hmm.
Look at as a learning experience. You cannot drive a BMW without learning a cycle. Cycle is boring, I know that. But you cannot drive a BMW straight away. One, it's very expensive, the insurance is expensive, petrol is expensive, and your life is very expensive.
Hmm.
So please don't try to become a BMW or a racing car driver straight on it. Learn how to cycle. I know cycle is very tiring, your leg pains a lot. But while you are doing your cycling, learn how to drive as well. Don't sit on the cycle and think that our BMW will come automatically. Put effort. Once you do that, as Smita mentioned, they have very thin boundaries. I bet if you can do supporter, you will do lifted to do more. That is where DevOps learn. See, even I couldn't have put it in better words. Smita has put it in very good word.
So
It's all
many, so
about
good.
books. It's all about
Hmm.
knowledge. I was considered a very bad, but my manager, not the team lead, he looked at my talent. He goes, "You are learning like hell, man. You need to go to London. Go away." Su's
True.
brother, Su, who came and said,
Hmm.
"Good," his brother only recruited me from campus, and he was my manager, and he only sent me to London. That's why he's the only person I call sir, Mr. Himanshu Patra. Hello, Himanshu, if you're listening. He's in
I think he
Italy
will
at the
be.
minute.
He will be.
Most probably not. He's in Italy, so I don't know.
Oh,
So
you can share
Mr.
the link
Vishnu,
later on. See, we talked about you.
yeah, no, he knows. We
Oh,
talked. I talked to him day before yesterday over a smoke because he was my smoking partner
oh,
as well. So
okay.
he's a senior director at Capgemini. So one thing is your knowledge will
Hmm,
become better, and the speed of delivery which support people have, even some of the developers don't have.
hmm,
So you will be better. Learn to automate,
hmm,
make it faster. Somebody will see your skill. If your
hmm,
current leader is not, doesn't matter. Else, go and find. If
hmm,
you think your life is going to be sitting around and doing nothing, my dad used to say, if you expect something to happen without doing something, it's called a wish.
hmm.
It ain't going to happen. You have to put the effort. Don't wish for something. Yeah?
I think yes. I think this is going to be truly the last question. But the question was
Okay.
so good. I mean, there's a lot of confusion also, and you're both. I mean, senior genius. One question from Nevedu saying that loving the conversation. He's loving how we're talking, and he'd like to know the strategy we use for instance, if it's
Branching.
trunk based. Yeah. So what should be
Yeah.
our uh,
Yeah. I
branding
use
strategy?
something, a branching strategy from Vincent Dreschen.
Hmm.
Have a Google of, I'm not sure. Sandip, can you do me a favor? This is
Hmm.
the one. Can you post it? Okay, I'll put it on the Google, sorry,
Okay, well,
YouTube as well.
yeah, I will just it's okay. Okay, I will just post the thing.
Yeah,
They can just or we can just
Google it
add
out.
this Vincent. Oh, you are also there. Okay,
Dreschen,
so just
Vincent
yeah,
Dreschen.
so
Yeah,
let me I'll just
yeah.
show in the
Vincent
screen.
Dreschen get
Vincent
flow.
Vincent.
Exactly.
So,
His branching strategy is kind of like taken as a de facto standard. My suggestion also is, oh, thank you. So,
is in Pune.
yeah, he is in Pune, Guru. Oh, Himanshu is in
Oh,
Pune. Okay.
you you
Himanshu
should
is
you're
in
also
Pune.
coming. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So, no, because I think he flew in today. No, I don't know. So, yeah. So, Vincent Dreschen, Git Flow is one of the best. But
Mm.
remember, I don't like monorepo. There are some companies who literally have the testing code, application code, infrastructure in one.
Mm.
Then initially it becomes easy because everything is in one place, but then the separation of concerns is not implemented properly. Then blaming
Mm.
culture comes into picture, and your system is now then tightly integrated or tightly coupled, as they call it, because you have the source code. अरे hacking करके कुछ कर लेते हैं. Don't do that. So your your code should be logically good, which you can
Mm.
understand. What the hell rule? Actually, we call what the F rule. I can't use that word here.
No, no. It's uncut guru. So you can use
Yeah.
anything. That's why it's uncut,
What the fuck
unfiltered.
rule? What the fuck rule it's called? Why the fuck did I do that? That's
Yeah.
what it is. So
Mm.
after 2 3 months, if someone else opens your code and said, why the fuck Guru did that, means you're writing some shit code in there. Right? So don't do that.
Sure.
Think
Mm.
logically, make sure that your application uses solid principle, as they call SOLID, scalable and all those
Mm.
things. Go and look it out. But branching strategy also should align with that. For
Mm.
example, each branch, when you, let's say if I'm building a Docker image,
Mm.
I use something called a Git plugin
Mm.
when building Docker. What it does, the tag it creates is
Mm.
based on the branch name itself.
Okay.
So if I'm in the master branch or main, it will
Mm.
say com dot, sorry, the image is agile guru slash
Yes. Mm.
backend colon main. But
Mm.
if I build it from the develop, it will become develop. So you know the tag is which branch it's coming from.
Always,
The good thing
yes, it's
about that
created.
one
Mm.
is for releases, you will never create a branch. You will
Right.
always create a tag.
Mm.
So once you create, tags are immutable. You cannot change it. So what do? You take the code from a develop or main branch and put it into a release tag. And once you build the image, it will always be the same and it will always be that version. So you will know that this has come out of this tag or this branch, and you don't have to do guesswork. I don't like guessing work. This is where all the problems start. I don't want to do guessing. See, I am not as young as Sandip who remembers everything. I don't remember everything.
I also don't remember everything. Honestly.
Yeah, so I don't want to do guesswork. Let other people also don't need to guess. Same, what the hell rule? No. ये इधर से आया है हाँ ठीक है यार चलो if I create a new feature branch, the tag will come as feature 1.0. अरे तेरा feature अच्छा चल रहा है यार चल merge कर देते हैं. So then it becomes easier for developers, for operations people, for release managers to become a team. Think as a team, think as a team, and think as a team. I couldn't reiterate this enough. You are not going, BMW machines have like thousands of components, especially if you go to Volkswagen, there is a Bugatti division. I'm sure everyone knows what Bugatti Veyron is. The first 1,000.
Everybody knows.
Exactly.
Boys are crazy specifically about all this.
So, yeah, exactly. Do you know that a single car has one radiator? A Bugatti Veyron has 8 radiators. It produces so much heat. And if you don't have that, the car engine will melt.
Okay.
Right? And it takes in so much oxygen in 1 minute, where a normal person takes 1 year to take.
That's too much.
That was oxygen it takes in. A normal person, right? So, and think the construction, when someone was designing, 1 gallon of petrol finishes, right? How much do you know how much kilometers it gives per gallon? 0.4.
That's crazy costly. And specifically, I mean, you into what things cost.
Yeah, exactly. So, but there was a joke. Oh, by the way, what if I fill the petrol and run the car in full speed? Will the tire go nasty? They said, by the time tire goes nasty, your petrol will be over anyway. So tire won't get nasty. By the way, the cost of each tire is 15,000 euros. Each tire.
They would say, in India, you'll get a new car on that.
Exactly. So, but if possible, of course, Bugatti is different, but if possible, people, I'm saying, once in your lifetime, go to Nordschleife, or they call it as Nuremberg in Germany. Even if you don't know how to drive, which is the case in mine, I asked a taxi driver, to sit in a BMW M5 and drive me around on the Nordschleife. It's called Nordschleife, but it's called Nuremberg racing circuit. There is no speed limit there, and the taxi goes at 240 miles an hour. If you are sick, make sure that you put on a sick, and if you have not loose stomach, please put on a diaper. And I have no shame in saying I put on a diaper, because you will go for tutu. That's how fast it is if you're not used to it. But the engineering which goes into that cars is so tuned. Every telemetry is taken into picture. How much heat, how much volume, how this. And sometimes a single nut means the amount of, what you say, the downward pressure it needs for the car not to spin. They had to put 200 kilos of weight only to keep it stable. Imagine.
So basically saying that, for our strategy or all these things, the design part is important, how the
Exactly.
engineering
The
part you're doing,
thinking. Each
the
component
branching,
is different.
everything. Right.
Yeah.
You have to put a thought on every single aspect what you're doing. For
Yeah.
example, I think I will maybe may make it in the actual development flow that if you're going to develop application, like you're doing the application, then
Mm,
you have a master. Or now we cannot call it master. That's a bad word. So main. Then you have say fixes branches. Then you have staging. You have dev. You have pre-prod. You have a lot of things based on your engineering flow. You are maintaining all the branches and everything. That's how. So like any card, say a card part, you are developing software for the cars. Then for each component, you have different branch, right? Different
exactly. Correct.
maybe depot itself. So
Yeah.
you have to
And
think your what is your business. You have to think about what is your problem statement, and then you're designing all that. Of course, the branding strategy is not out of the context. You have to think: do you have a product environment? Do you have a test environment?
mm,
Do you have hot fixes? Based on that, you have your branding strategy, and that's how you implement, right?
yeah. Even
That's how.
Volkswagen has a very big software division where
Mhm.
all these branching strategies and all this comes through.
Mhm.
Remember, they don't only develop cars, they develop, remember, they own
You have software
most of the
also,
biggest branches: Volkswagen, Skoda,
right?
Bugatti, not Porsche, but
Mm.
they own Audi. So,
Mm.
right? So, they own a heck lot. They reuse your components everywhere.
Mm.
Skoda means Seat is one of the cars.
Mm.
Seat Ibiza is nothing but Volkswagen Golf with a different cover. That's it.
Right.
So that's how reuse components, reuse code, all the softwares and branching strategies. So what they do once they create a software for their panel,
Mm.
right click Skoda. That's it. Skoda
Mm.
1.0. Right
I
click the
think
same
another
brand.
that's
Yeah.
expect, and another thing is that I think for the final releases or so final binary, they have a tag system, right? It's
Yeah.
not only the brand system you are designing. You should also keep in your mind that you only have final deployment artifact. Like you can say, for example, in a lot of ways you can store artifact. One of the best, so in the open source way, you have the tax-based releases, right? That
Yeah.
also one should look into if you're thinking of the branding strategy. Don't just look at the branding strategy. If you have a CI/CD pipeline in there, your final artifact, you should be putting the tags in proper use also. That's another thing. Now I think our time's actually getting is already near to 2 hours. We have to,
2 hours.
and
Really?
we talk.
Oh,
Yes, you will see. So we talked, and we, sometime we had discussion and all that. So it was so fast.
we'll
Now,
do it
what are
for
the
10 more
final words?
minutes. Yeah, we'll do it for 10 more
Okay, this is
minutes.
fine. So just the final thoughts. So what do you call it? I mean, if there are fresher engineer coming and say there are senior engineer, how should they see the current DevOps market, or say not the DevOps cloud market and software engineering market, where they should focus in terms of there's AI, like a lot of things are there. Just a
Yeah.
few words on that.
In few words, number one, discipline,
Mm-hmm.
learning culture.
Mm-hmm.
Please get up in the morning and learn it. 1 hour in the morning is equivalent to 2.5 hours in the evening. Please, okay, I know getting up early is a hot topic. I
Yes.
understand that, but please, uh, discipline. Get up in the morning, because in the morning when you study, you don't have the pressure for the rest of the day because you got the rest of the day to do stuff. But if you
Mm.
don't do that, and if you want to, yeah, Raj, tired, then you can't learn. Also, your energy will be gone. Number two is be curious. Look at the industry. For example, go to infoq.com, go
Mm.
to daily.dev. Daily.dev is a Google
Very good.
plugin, very good one. It tells you what is happening in the industry. You can pick, also, you can choose which one you want to display. Daily.dev, go to GitHub and go to Google Trends. There is a website called Google Trends. What is happening? But don't waste a lot of time then, because you can definitely waste a lot of time.
Mm.
Look at projects which are more than 1 year old. Don't use something which has been less than 1 month old, some fancy things and all, because they may not be industry specific or
They are not even
industry.
long time managing also. We don't know the maintainers and all that. So
Exactly,
this is a
exactly.
standard one.
And
I
then,
think if someone in the CNCS specifically, they should focus on the project which is matured already. If talking about the
exactly,
cloud native way.
yeah, exactly. And then practice, practice,
Mm.
and get a mentor who can validate what you're doing is correct, not how you're doing, what and why. As I mentioned, what, why, and then how.
Mm.
Don't go and do hello world, as I mentioned. No. For example, Alexa, lights on.
Okay.
Alexa, lights
Okay.
on
Okay.
agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
Alexa, light brightness 100%.
Okay.
Now I'm pink.
Right.
I don't want to go and type some command. No,
Mm.
obviously not. Alexa, lights off.
Okay.
Done. So why? This is automatic. I don't want to press 5 switches and type some commands. No, I don't want to do that. I set up everything. As I mentioned, you should be proud of what you do. And when someone says you are wrong, try using that.
Yeah. Someone zoom that later on.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll bring it.
Oh, just put
nearby.
it on the font. Say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not arguing. What I'm trying to say is I am right. Once you have that confidence of doing things, your knowledge will go multiple, exponentially, as they call it. You will fail, but please don't lose your heart. Yaar, usko kuch yaad. Don't compare with others. Don't compare orange and apples. I can never be as good as Sandip when it comes to AWS, even if I sit for so much time. But I know that he cannot beat me in Java, for sure. Yeah. So please don't lose your, get a mentor. Check quality, not quantity. Remember diamond versus cow dung. And number 3, be passionate. Don't यार जॉब करना है, मैं खुश कैसे रह सकता हूँ? How can I be happy of what I'm doing? Why do you think I came today? Sandeep is not going to give me 20 grand for coming into this one. Yeah, easy. If he gives, I'll take it, but that's different. But why do we do it? We don't do it for commercial purpose. We do it for the passion we have. Passion. And trust me, I invested a heck lot of money in my data center or lab in my garage and in my thing.
Garage. Yes.
Right? But trust me, within 3 years, I made 6 times more money because of that skill. I got a superb job which paid me a heck lot of money. And guess what? I got a diamond earring for my wife too. So now she'll allow me to buy more stuff. Yeah. So jokes apart, be excellent. Try for excellence. Success will follow you. Never demean yourself. Today you're in support. Don't worry. Learn. Be better. Please be like a musician. Musician practice a lot before they become very good. Do you think A.R. Rahman just became a musician by typing 5 times? No. Trust me, he practices a lot.
Practice is important for any profession. And for
any
us,
profession.
it's more,
So do that
more and more.
And be curious. A.R. Rahman is not on the harmonium all the time. He uses best technologies. Sometimes he doesn't have an instrument and he does that. And I went to a concert. Trust me, he was sitting 5 feet away from me. That's how close I was. 5 feet. And he was doing like this and without any instrument, and he was playing
all this technology. And we, as the forefront of the technology, we are the kind of we are developing software. People like us are doing things. We has to be on top of that if you want to beat the system. That's the
exactly. So don't be afraid. You will see failures, right? You will see disappointments. You will see bad things. See, you have to fight a battle. You have to fight a war to get your wife back. That's what even Ram had to do that. He had to fight. And guess what? Sometimes you need to get the help of the monkeys too. Don't think as monkeys as bad people. They are L1 support. Remember, if Hanuman was not there, Ram could have done nothing. So please understand that even though you are the Hanumans, you're not the monkeys. If there was no Hanuman, Ram would be still bachelor now.
Every profession is important. Be support.
Every profession is important, so please don't take it in a negative way.
Everything should be support.
Exactly. Remember, when I was doing support, I enjoyed it a lot because even now, once in a while, I do support work. And trust me, my company is so good. If they call me on a Sunday or Saturday, I get 80,000 rupees.
Wow. And people don't know that, by the way, that sometimes in London or any out, I think out of India specifically, if you overwork, you get huge money. I know that part.
Yeah.
In India, it's very shaky. People
No,
don't get
the
that
thing
money.
is, no, because our company has very bad,
Mm.
very strict
Good,
policies
good,
that
good.
employees should not work after 5. And
Mm.
what they say, remember, we get salary for Saturday and Sunday anyway,
Mm.
but
Mm.
they say that there are people who are on call. Obviously, Do It International, where I work for, we don't take people less than 15 years experience. Unfortunately, that's how it is. So they say that you are very experienced people, and if a company wants your time, they need to pay for it.
Yes.
So
And that should
we
be
are
a
very
universal policy. Yeah, that
yeah,
should be universal policy, not just
yeah,
not take time for
and
granted.
yeah, exactly. So and we are severely discouraged not to work after 5 because they say, I don't want. Remember, this is taken out of context,
Uh,
Ganeshji.
mm, mm,
What Mr. Murthy has said, don't take it out of context, right? He said, if the nation wants to become better, not you want to become better,
mm, mm.
everyone should put more effort so that the content. He doesn't say that you should work for free
Yeah.
in Infosys for
Absolutely
70 hours.
agree.
He didn't say that. Please don't take it into the
I'll
context.
make that one as a point.
Yeah. Remember,
Mm,
if I work for a Israeli company, right?
mm.
These people work their asses off. They don't need to. They don't need to. Trust me, Israel is one of the most technological driven countries in the world. But they don't do it. They work crazy hours, but they also have very good social life. So please don't take it in the wrong context. Coming back to what I was saying is,
Yes.
is discipline, work, practice, failures you will see, curiosity, try to do it effectively. Use FinOps policies.
Mm,
Yes, FinOps policies and FinOps policies where don't do it cheaper. Don't do it cheap. Diamonds are never cheap.
mm.
But make sure that the diamond is so reusable. You can put it on a crown, put it as a ring, put it as a earring or a knife or a necklace. Diamond has only this value. If you make a big one, well, unfortunately, you cannot put it in your ears because it's too heavy.
Yes.
But don't make it too small either because then it won't shine. So make sure that you do it in a way where it can shine and do better. Look at Sandip, right? He does AWS. He has AWS Community Builder, which I am not, which I'm very jealous of him. And but on the other side, he can be jealous of me because I have got shitloads of Google certification and Spring certification. Like, do we compete with each other? No, we
Yeah.
don't.
We learn from each other, and that should be the motto.
Exactly.
Yes.
So he's my mentor, I'm his mentor, and Shubham is everyone's mentor. That's what it is. Well, kind of. And I mentor him. The thing is, we don't take egos.
Yeah.
यार उसको ज्यादा आता है, I don't care.
So if you want to be someone that is great at what you like, what everyone does, like, so in any particular category, leave ego out of your mind, learn from everyone, contribute to the community and other people. That's what Guru are trying to kind
Exactly.
of
Yeah.
convey, and that should be our motto as well.
Hmm.
I think
And be
learn from
happy.
each
Be
other,
happy.
be happy.
Be
What
happy.
in and love the process, be happy.
Hmm.
That's I think that's the content out of it.
Hmm.
Great. Thank you, Guru, for that. I mean, we keep talking more than 2 hours. I think your wife will kill you for that, and my wife kill me for that. So let's. I mean, all this learning. I mean, you put this time out of your busy schedule. I know it's busy schedule, or maybe you were taking some rest. You didn't. You put back to the community, and people don't realize how much experience you guys are and how much you can be contributing. They just should be like Guru have his channel Ajay Guru. He always contribute there more, and he always write articles. I think make videos with I think what's your partner name? I forgot. Sorry. So
Akshay.
Akshay, yeah. So
Ah.
so there are people like Guru and all. I mean, they're putting so much effort. I will say if you can. Do you have any top mate also? Or where do you suggest
I
people?
used to, but I stopped it because
I'm assuming.
the thing is, one for the Indian market, it was too expensive. Like
Hmm.
3,000 rupees for half an hour is too expensive. So, and also, I don't want TopMate to take the cut. And if I get the money, I
Uh,
have to pay tax here. So, I have given an alternative where people can contact me and they can transfer what they think is good to
hmm.
an Indian account of my father-in-law, where all the money goes to charity.
That's very noble cause. And if you want like direct session of like so directly talk with Guru, get help from experience, please do reach out to Guru's like, whatever link you have in profile on LinkedIn. I think you might have it.
Yeah,
So go
LinkedIn
there
should
and
be.
yeah, you have it. Say.
Yeah.
So
So
I
yeah,
think
because I
yeah,
don't want to. I mean, as I mentioned, I have already enough. So whatever
it's all
we
good.
do, yeah.
It's all for
Remember,
the community and
yeah,
charity.
exactly. This is my LinkedIn. Ping me there. I want to,
Yes.
and I am not going to charge you 20,000 rupees per hour or not. No, it's very nominal. And
Uh,
and if you are employed, I may charge you a little bit more. But if you are not, then I will make sure that I give you the right time. And also remember, why I'm saying this is because charity is one passionate thing. Not many people know. Maybe my wife is a gold medalist from Salem University. She treats children with acquired brain injuries. If she went private, I would be multimillionaire now. She has been
it's
working
all
for a
about
charity organization for 15
yeah.
years in here.
So it's all about the passion, what they love, and contribute to all
Exactly.
that.
So,
Like you contribute to
so
the tech community, your wife,
yeah,
in this hospital.
she does it
What
for
what's
charity.
the
So yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So please, guys, as I mentioned, you can buy the best beds. You can never
you
buy
cannot buy
sleep.
this.
Exactly. So, and if you want to disturb for not having a sleep, go to Sandeep's house, and he will give you
It's
nice.
all yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all
But
very nice weather all the time.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly. And I want to do more, but given the time difference
yes,
is a bit of
always.
a pain. But I will try to accommodate. But please, guys, don't ping me at 9 o'clock in the morning on Sundays or Saturdays. It's 3:30 here. Please don't.
I mean, they
And
just their message. I mean, what happened? People. I mean, see, volume. I think in LinkedIn is already 70,000 up followers. Let's say YouTube also is more reaching. I think 70,000 similar kind of thing. It's even. I mean, we love the numbers. We see how many people we are able to help. Sometimes it's problematic, but we have the willingness to help. Sometimes it may take
exactly,
time. Don't lose hope. Guru, me, Shubham, say Abhishek, Dharmala, or anybody you follow, you
lots of
know
people are.
they will try to reach out to you. Okay, I know
Mm,
this all like, even the cloud champ. I know a lot of people, some personally, some maybe on the video, but they are all willing to help.
yeah,
Sometimes they don't get time. Even I think I got so many LinkedIn messages I'm not able to read. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's not possible to humanly read all that. Okay,
yeah,
sometimes I read, sometimes I can't. But if you keep, even if I'm not responding, if you keep sending out two, three more times, unfortunately you have to do it. Then we
yeah.
can able to say, okay, you understand the reality of the problem also, or say you need
Yeah.
urgent help, right? Because too many things.
And
So
remember, guys, I am also dependent on Mrs. Radhika Yakashiri, who's my wife. And if I spend all the time with you, then I'll be bankrupt because because the only thing I own is two monitors and a mobile phone. All the things is owned by my wife. So please help me. Obviously, I'm joking,
Oh, I
but
think I think I
on a
think we
serious
should
note,
not take any more time. Already
yeah,
Saturday.
exactly.
So again, thank you, Guru, for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom. You're a very senior person in technology perspective, not like the age. Thank you being with us and sharing all the knowledge and like you are doing really good job as contribution. Your knowledge is particularly what I'm very fond of. I always that's why I keep suggestions sometimes. I know I bug you, but thank you for all the good things that you do and keep contributing to the community. And thank you guys for staying. I mean, see, a lot of people still online and watching us from the beginning to end. Thank you very much, you guys. You should subscribe to our channel if you are new to and newly watching us. Now, Guru's channel link I will share in the description and the comment so that you guys can follow him or subscribe to his channel. Again, thank you everyone. I wish that you guys have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the parents. Be happy, as Guru is saying always. Like learn a lot of things. Have the passion to learn, have the courage to fail, and then succeed in your life. That's all you want. Again, thank you very much, Guru, all your time. Thank you very much. Okay, guys,
Yeah.
bye. We'll see you again in the next week or maybe some week. We will do, and I have a lot of courses upcoming. Yes,
Hold on,
don't
hold
get
on,
me
hold on.
wrong.
Screenshot,
Uh,
screenshot.
oh, Yes.
You take. I'm not taking.
Oh, sorry. Then do it. Okay. Take it. Should I
Yeah.
should take another one? Let's do another.
Okay.
Yeah, like this. Done. Thank you. I'll share the image. Don't worry.
Okay then. Okay then.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Uh, Excellently, we talk a lot of topics, and of course, we have a lot of people listening and all that. Again, thank you all. We'll see sometime again. Bye bye.
Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali to you.
Happy Diwali to everyone.